Oh my god, guys. This took way too long to do. I don't even know if it's working. You know what? Straight up, I'm just gonna do it like, let's just pretend that this is the back in the day type of streaming where no one knew how to do stuff. OBS and YouTube gave me such a headache. I was so excited coming into this, and now I'm not excited at all. I don't know what's going on with OBS. It just stinks because, can I just see if this is working? It's not directly, okay, so it is working with, I just want to see how it's looking right now. Can you see all this, guys? This is what I get for not streaming for like a hot minute. What an awful, awful comeback stream. So you can't see the, okay. I'm so mad. Okay, I wanted to do a live react, but I'm not sure how to do that right now. I think I have to do screen share. I'm so bothered. What's up? My name is Erica Mance. We only have the best equipment here. Literally right now, just trying to figure out how to use everything. And the current bit rate is like so horrible. Probably because I'm still trying to figure this out. Hold on. Ew, this guy made a whole PowerPoint on how to use the screen sharing. Dude, I hate this guy. Just... I hate trying to figure this out while live streaming. It's so frustrating. I used to be able to do OBS quite quickly, but now it's just... Okay. How to mirror screen on OBS. I can't believe I literally forgot how to do this. I literally haven't streamed in months. But I know it's not this complicated. Like, there is no way it's this complicated to share your screen. I know there's another way to do this. Start virtual studio mode. Sorry, y'all. Welcome to my comeback stream, right? Damn, I'm like pretty mad because there was this one video. It was so good. And I can't find her anymore. I'm devastated. Okay, just show me how to do... Bro, I don't remember screen sharing being this complicated. welcome to the Wednesday night live stream. We're gonna be literally figuring out how to do everything, I guess. How to screen share on OBS. Click sensors, add new resource. There has to be, oh my god. There are two different vendors, using Windows. Click the plus sign in sources. Where the hell is sources? Oh. Oh my god. Do I have it? Do you guys see that? Oh, okay. Alright. Why is it only showing the back end? Hold on. Okay. No, but I want it to show the okay. I think I got it. I'm like devastated, so let me just check something real quick. Because I'm literally learning as I go. Okay. So my head looks big here. Alright, hold on. Let me do this. I'm gonna put myself in the corner here. Give me a break, y'all. I haven't done this in a hot minute. Oh my god. You guys don't need to know that I'm doing 5-minute kettlebell workouts. Look, 1 million views. I cannot wait to watch this. Okay, do I look good? Why does it have that? I did it. I'm so back, baby. I'm so back. Now I'm scared of the audio a little bit, but can I just like excuse myself real quick and just like be right back and restart this whole this whole stream? Cause yo, you have no idea how stressed I am. So give me a second. I'm gonna literally go get some water and get my beer and do what I gotta do. One sec. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all, it's Wednesday. My name is Erica Mance. Welcome to a late night stream that took literally 1 hour to set up because I forgot how to use OBS. And I am just exhausted at this point. And I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know how good this stream is going. So I literally have to watch myself, I think. But tonight I'm gonna be basically reviewing the content cop that iDubbbz recently came out with, and I have to do some other things. So I was supposed to come out with a video tonight. I don't know if that's gonna happen. We're gonna try to get that done, but I just sincerely do not know what I'm gonna be able to finish tonight. So bear with me, man. It's been a while since I've live streamed. Like a long time since I've live streamed. And I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna work out, but you know, at some point there was a sweet time on YouTube where people were just doing stuff without really knowing how to do it. And I feel like, you know, YouTube was like fun at some point. Where you could just be goofy and not feel so insecure about, you know, what you're putting out there. I'm gonna see if I can just turn on my heater real quick because it's freezing in here. So hold on. Bear with me. I'm trying my best. I just want to hear if you can hear the heater. Damn. It's too loud. That's crazy, guys. It's crazy. I can't. Like, there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way. Bro, I'm checking my podcast equipment, but I doubt that any of these microphones can fit. Bro. I'm like, there has to be another way. Bro, what is half of this equipment? Guys. Alright. Right now is not the time to do this, but I'm honestly a little bit devastated. Alright, it's fine. You know, this is the comeback stream. It's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be perfect. I'm just gonna freeze to death for the one viewer that I have. Let's get started. I'm gonna have a little beer because, bro, this was the most stressful thing. I cannot believe it, how stressful this was. So this is from Brick City. This brewery is unfortunately closing down. So we're gonna watch this content cop, and it's an hour long. No. Yeah, I'm 100% gonna be doing other things while I watch this, because there's no way I could just sit and watch this for an hour. Ethan Klein is not that important to me. Alright, let's get started. Cheers. It's Wednesday. I'm off tomorrow, so don't judge. Okay? Let's get started.
Destination, the beach is surprisingly dangerous. Consider the
fucking thing in our defense. Like, actually, Hila's not a baby killer. Actually, accusing Ethan of killing his dog is maybe too far, because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group that anybody who says any fucking thing, they will attempt to ruin their lives. And once again, I'm the crazy one. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people.
What we do here is go back.
I'm just checking something because this seems a little delayed and I can't tell if you guys can hear. I'm so sorry it's delayed, bro. If you guys don't know, iDubbbz is like kind of one of the OG, I guess, YouTubers. I don't want to say self-canceled, but he did this thing called Content Cop like back in the day, and he would just basically judge whatever was on YouTube, and it was like a funny thing. I don't know. I didn't really watch iDubbbz. I actually started liking him really later on because he was kind of problematic back in the day. But he does this boxing charity thing called Creator Clash, which is how I kind of like ended up liking him. So, yeah, he hasn't done this in a long time. So I'm very interested to see how it's gonna go. Also because he's had 2 creator clashes, and 2 of them, well, he's about to have his 3rd one. So the first 2 had a member of H3, which is AB, and he fought in 2 of them. And H3 would like kind of, you know, hype up creator clash. The 3rd one, AB is not in, but his wife Lena is in, who works for H3 as well. So I'm kind of interested in how this is gonna go, considering that he is the creator of Creator Clash, like, and I don't know how this H3 video is gonna go, but I just wonder how this is gonna go, because if it's gonna be problematic, like Lena is in Creator Clash this year, is she gonna back out? Is this going to create tension? Is it going to make him spiral a little bit more? I guess we're going to find that out.
What's up, everybody? I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Hassan broadcast coming to you live from a...
Stop. I thought my computer changed to Hassan. I was like, bro, that messed me up.
Cloudy day here in California, Los Angeles. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one, because today's a beautiful day. I have a very important announcement. I've finally done it. I watched Ethan Klein's Content Nuke, and I'm not going to call it Context Puke as I normally do, because the reality of the matter is it was brilliant. Nothing was out of context. Everything was correct. I am an Islamist, fundamentalist, radical terrorist. I am a vicious anti-Semite. It's true. Most importantly, Ethan is more attractive than me, both physically and also mentally. I've been lying about everything, including my glasses. They're fake. He was right about that. That's not even in the content nuke. And he was right about that too. How did he know everything? How? Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake up.
Wakey, wakey, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
I was not expecting. Wait, first of all, I thought maybe I had missed one of Hassan's which I didn't watch his live stream, but I was not expecting this.
Time to be awake, Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
This is no longer a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake up.
Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
Yo! Wait, hold on. They got denims and
Wake up, Ethan.
Ethan, wake up.
Wake up.
Soon, anyone?
Just wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
I'm not gonna do a react content yet, chat.
Bro, this is insane. So these are all content creators. I'm not sure who the gentleman is with the silver vest, but I feel like his face is familiar. But these are all people that Ethan has gone after, especially Denims and Frogan. Frogan got, actually both Frogan and Denims got banned from Twitch for like a week or two because of Ethan.
I'm the same. Nobody's told you to wake up, Ethan.
Yummy, I love Sabra hummus.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan. Just wake up.
I wasn't expecting iDubbbz to go this hard, just because H3 is somehow involved with Creator Clash.
All right. I didn't plan on making a content cop on H3. It sounds very stupid even saying that. H3 content cop, iDubbbz. Ethan Klein's out of control. And then you should do a content cop on Hassan Piker. Content cop on Sargon of Akkad. If I would imagine this in 2016, I would have been like, oh yeah, if I ever do that, it's gotta be because I lose the plot. Well, it turns out it's not me losing the plot, it's Ethan. He's the one who fucking attacked first.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Alright guys, I'm going to tell you a story about Ethan Klein. I know some of you have been following him, but there's a lot of people who might not be familiar with the background, with his podcast, with what's been going on over the past couple of years. So Ethan, as you know, is a content creator who has a podcast where he says all sorts of outrageous stuff. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's fucked up. He's had shows with all sorts of different controversial characters. He's had a show with Trisha Paytas. He's had a show with Hassan Piker. In doing so, he's gathered a ton of different audiences. Now, in his podcast with Hassan, Leftovers...
Hold on, guys. This is a little preview of tonight, the video that might not come out tonight. This is Steve. Honestly, I'm just gonna name these after my siblings. Only because you'll see the video, but this is in dedication of Steve Irwin. And my brother's name is Steve. So I should just name this one Kathy, because it's koala. They'll be here joining us, right here on the table. And by the way, with the video, Leftovers, so before I started watching Hassan, I actually used to hate watch H3. This is crazy. I know, this is like so weird of me. But I was hate watching H3. And then I ended up really liking H3. And then, this is kind of like in between Frenemies, I guess. So after Frenemies ended, I started watching H3. No, during Frenemies, I was hate watching, and then I ended up liking it because I remember I was like, oh wow, I actually kind of like Trisha. And then Frenemies ended, and then I was just like regularly watching, and then Leftovers came, and I was like, ugh, I don't like this Hassan guy. He's so serious. And then I was hate watching Leftovers, and then I ended up really liking it, and I ended up really liking Hassan. So I literally, I think that's when I made a Twitch account, literally, and now all I do is watch Hassan. So I'm a little biased right now, but yeah, I used to watch H3 heavily, and H3 or Ethan Klein is who introduced me to Hassan. Like, I wasn't watching Hassan at all prior to that, prior to Leftovers.
They would mostly talk about surface level progressive shit and make fun of right wingers.
And you're telling me he didn't flick their dick once at least?
Oh, that's 100 shavers. You trans woman. I say, oh no!
And it was mostly that until they actually had to reckon with a very serious topic. I would say that Hassan was very well equipped to talk about that topic.
Palestinian people living in the West Bank are subject to these horrific conditions, horrific living conditions by the state of Israel, America's greatest ally and the only democracy in the Middle East, if you ask Republicans and even liberals.
Well, that dance he invented was so kick-ass.
Israeli settlers are trying to evict Palestinian families in occupied East Jerusalem. The United Nations says that may be a war crime. It literally is.
I was just eating the toppings. The pizza looked like a burn victim. It was all disgusting.
I don't know if you can make that joke in 2021.
Why?
It's insensitive to burn victims.
I think that's a good analogy. It's a powerful image.
Ethan was not prepared for this. Ethan, the whole time, is more of the goof guy. And that's fine, you know? We don't expect Ethan to be an expert on the topic. Ethan was obviously caught in this tricky situation where he is extremely sympathetic to the Israeli cause and what's happening to them. His wife's Israeli. She served in the IDF. He obviously likes the state of Israel. On the other hand, he's just got done capturing a massive progressive audience who are very politically savvy. They follow Hassan. Hassan is strictly a political streamer. So this is something they're very keyed into. So when they see Ethan say things that are just like not accurate and it's just propaganda, they're going to call it out.
From the river to the sea essentially means the state of Israel is going bye-bye.
So this massive progressive audience that Ethan has, adopted over the years, they're becoming increasingly critical of his position because now he's talking about it not on Leftovers. He's now talking about it on his podcast.
What I want to do is show you guys how I see Israel, because you don't see that. When you listen to Hassan and you hear all these fucking mega lefties talking about it like it's some super racist, crazy, like Jim Crow style of society. Like, I can't wait to show you guys.
The other day, Bibi fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
So Ethan is having this back and forth with his liberal audience, leftist people online, progressive content creators, Hassan, all of these different people. He's finding new people every day, basically, to get in fights with.
Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb, Frogan and Denims and all these dipshits, and everybody thinks this guy's awesome, apparently. Even though he looks like Milhouse, fucking dork. Denims, by the way, was the real villain of the video. Evil, hateful, fucking... And I'll say it and I'll double down on it. And people... Oh, no.
Bro, he went so in on Denims. Another person that I would not have known without Ethan Klein. But, yeah, the whole Leftovers, I remember seeing that live, actually, when it was happening. And at first, because I think they made multiple episodes, and I don't know, man. I think that last episode really broke Ethan's brain, because that's when they went on the indefinite hiatus for Leftovers. But what I like about iDubbbz in this particular, the way he formatted the video was he was comparing what Hassan was talking about in certain times, 2019 or 2021, compared to what Ethan was talking about. And granted, the reason why I started watching H3 was because goofs and gaps, you know what I'm saying? It was a show to get away from that stuff. However, H3 podcast, the show, you could do goofs and gaffs, but it's not like Hila or Ethan were saying anything on their personal Instagrams regarding Palestine and Israel. So I agree in the sense that they never really said anything until the last year, or October 7th. But Hassan has been consistently talking about this and educating himself. So I think Ethan keeps using the I'm Israeli, so I'm right type of mindset. But it's like, okay, well, you have someone who actually like studied all of this and literally is a political, not a journalist, a political, like commentator. So I'm like, what made Leftovers also so much fun was Ethan wasn't that knowledgeable compared to Hassan. So it was a light, fun way of looking at politics. That wasn't so overbearing. But out of the two, it wasn't Ethan that was like the knowledgeable one. You know, he was the one that made it fun. Hassan was the person who brought in the facts, the education, what made me start thinking about politics more. So, yeah.
No, not go there.
And it's all culminated, at least for my story, in Ethan burning bridges with people until he burned the bridge with me. Since Ethan and Hassan's falling out, I've been keeping to myself mostly.
Whoa, I didn't even know he burned the bridge with iDubbbz. Okay.
I don't have many nice things to say. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help, maybe if he stops harassing other creators, maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace and we can like rekindle our friendship. So that's been my approach. I've occasionally thrown a joke Ethan's way in the form of Hassan Piker versus Ethan Klein for boxing.
I like iDubbbz. He's a good guy, but I don't like this stupid. It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism. And also he's way out of my weight class.
He didn't like that, but fucking sometimes you gotta just throw something out there. I used to work with this video editor named Froggy Tonic. I discovered him because he was in the circles online that I was in. And one of those circles is an H3 fan. He watched Ethan's content, he liked Ethan's content, until he didn't like Ethan's content. There would be an occasional Froggy tweet where I'd be like, I agree with that, you know? Like, I'm not gonna endorse it, I'm not gonna retweet it or like it, but fair enough.
I guess I just missed my old friend. Some wings are too bird feathered colored.
Now that brings us to February 28th of this year. Now, my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit. He called Hila the C word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit, I'm sure. Ethan, at some point, discovers that iDubbbz's former editor says this horrendous shit about him and Hila. But no one's asking the question, where does Ethan get this information from? You see, it would be very obviously a problem if Ethan was discovering this content by scrolling through Twitter looking for something to upset himself with. He has maybe set it up in such a way where his employees feel the need to send him this information, and that would be horrible. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be sending you things that are entertaining for your show that don't fucking trigger the hell out of you. Why is there so much work being put into discovering this guy on Twitter who's barely getting any interactions, linking him to me and posting on the Reddit, when there's no work being put into who the fuck is the person on the Reddit who's posting this in the first place? If you do a little bit of research, it seems like it's an account whose intention is to make Ethan crash out. One of the users on the Snark Reddit points this out. They're like, I've seen this account before. This account has scraped its history and it's now trying to make Ethan burn bridges. This is within Ethan's own community. Like, this is the thing that he needs to be critical of. It's not me. So yes, I am willing to admit that my former editor was being very nasty, uncharitable, and fucked up towards Ethan and Hila on Twitter. But Ethan and Hila are doing the same shit on their podcast, so I don't want to fucking hear it.
Terrorist supporter.
The CEO of Twitch.
Pedophile.
Now I'm going to watch and respond to the 2 podcast streams where Ethan and Hila call us spineless cowards.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that Hila's a Nazi, that she kills kids, that she went on like, she's a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and IDub's feed. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
You don't know what's on my feed. What the fuck is happening? For all you know, I only use the For You tab. For all you know, I only use lists.
So, I didn't know that was iDubbbz's former editor, but a lot of people tend to use Hila Klein. Okay, so before I even get to that point, in Israel, it's mandatory military time. Not everybody gets to just leave and not do it. So she served in the IDF. It is what it is. I mean, I'm sure she probably did horrible things. It is the IDF after all. But you know what? Regardless of that, regardless of what she has done, and I share this opinion with Hassan as well, it's not about what you've done in the past, it's what you do in the future and how you get redemption. And this is not the way. That's why a lot of people, I think, throw this in her face. It's not that she served in the IDF, I think it's that she continues to push a certain type of ideology in regards to like Israel or whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to explain that real quick.
For all you know, I'm seeing these things tweeted out by my editor of a year and a half ago and saying, God, that is nasty. I'm just not going to throw someone away because they're having a parasocial weird moment. Just like I'm not going to throw Ethan Klein away because he's having a parasocial weird crash out.
How many women I fucked? Hassan, by the way, thousands. Yeah, thousands. Let me ask Galia. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Hassan's the type of dude who watches himself in the mirror when he has sex.
Watching me on a 30-second delay on your stream.
Wait, wait, how does he know I'm watching already?
Because you've been talking about it for the last 5 minutes.
It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like, this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry.
There are many people, I'm sure, who have unfollowed you for the things that you have said and done, and I'm sure there are even more people who have stayed following you because they don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They don't want to throw someone away because they've had some hard moments. We're all fucking human.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine.
Okay, I will say this. I tried to support H3 for as long as I could, but bro, I do not know how people watch that show anymore. It's so... I don't know what's wrong with Ethan. His tics have gotten out of control. I think he's like super stressed, and it's just... I don't know. It's like... How do I say it? Because even before, sometimes he would go too in on people. Like, for example, Ryan Kavanaugh, who is like the owner of Triller or whatever app that is. He would go in on him sometimes, or like some other people, and I'd just like not watch the episode. I'd be like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna skip this one. But it got to the point where I was like skipping so many H3 episodes because it was just too much. Now when I like poke my head in out of curiosity, it's just unbearable, bro. And it's like, I think that if he were to take a break and just chill out for like a month or two, like 90-day detox from the internet, I think he could bring that love, those goofs and gaffs, that like wholesome content back. You know, I think I think a lot of people would forgive him, but he keeps burying himself and putting himself in this corner, and he's gonna lose everyone. Like, I think even iDubbbz just said it, but like even Hassan, it's like, how long can you be charitable to a person that's like literally trying to ruin your career or whatever? I mean, it's a lot. I mean, he's definitely going through something, but it's just, I can never.
To speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
And what you're saying to me is that I'm a bad friend and I'm a piece of shit. I'm spineless. I'm cowardly because I am following someone on Twitter.
Because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people harassing me and everyone in my life. It's that people outside of this group, journalists, creators, are actively participating in this gaslighting to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't know what he's getting at here. Like, yeah, people are gaslighting you. A lot of people gaslit me when I apologized. That was actually like the #1 type of harassment I got, was people gaslighting me and taking my newfound woke ideology to its extreme.
I probably done and stood by iDubbbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all the internet hated them.
I don't like that Ethan brought this up because it makes the relationship feel very transactional. Like, you know, we're just meant to support each other online despite our own personal morals or principles.
But I'll say this, I don't think they're fucking any friends of mine. And certainly I don't think they're any fucking friends of mine based on the text conversation I had with them too before I even talked about it. So I have nothing. I don't need any fucking halfway friends, man.
I thought the text conversation that I had with him was very empathetic. I basically just said, like, I know you and Hila are experiencing a ton of harassment, and I essentially empathize with that, and I think there's something positive to get out of the conversation. But he refused to talk on the phone unless I was willing to publicly say something about my former editor and denims. As much as
And I think this is another thing with Ethan. He keeps saying all of these things, like he won't talk to anybody. I think Hassan tried reaching out to him, and it's like, it's just, I don't know, man. You're in your 40s, like you have 3 kids, you know? Like, what type of example are you setting right now? Like, it's just, to me, I think it's just so silly. So, it's just, I just don't get what he's trying to do. It's just, oh shit. It's just so like just answer the phone, dude. And you know what? It kind of brings me back to, I believe he was having issues with like Philip DeFranco, and I think Philip DeFranco tried also contacting him through the phone, and he was just not, I don't know. There was like a whole weird thing that I felt with that. Those were a couple episodes that I skipped when he was like low-key beefing with Philip DeFranco. I was like, I was like, if anything, you should probably take notes, like, from Philly D, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so strange. You're an adult. Talk to people on the phone, meet up with them. I don't know. And the funny part is, all these people live in LA, so it's like, what's the excuse? These people live in California. Like, go talk to them. You're a man. Like, right? I don't get it.
You don't want halfway friends. I also don't want that kind of halfway friend. I don't want someone who's going to give me like an ultimatum to have a conversation.
Could you not say something when this is like, imagine like one of you guys is like, Hassan actually wants to go to Israel, go to Gaza so he can strangle Israeli babies or some shit like that. I'd be like, you imagine me not saying something.
You're trying to make a one-to-one comparison where there isn't one. This guy that I follow on Twitter is not in the same relationship as you and one of your current employees who is streaming with you 3 days a week, 3 hours a day for the past 10 years. At one point during the stream, Ethan and Hila bring up Adam McIntyre. Now, Adam does basically the same thing as my former editor. He's critical of Ethan and Hila, and he is sometimes uncharitable and nasty towards them.
Adam McIntyre needs to just like disappear. That guy is a piece of shit, like, of the lowest order. I never even stood by him when he talked bad about Trisha having a kid and called him, like, the spawn of Satan. He was supposedly on our side. I would never even co-sign that. I was disgusted by that statement, too. I remember when he called her kid the spawn of Satan.
I never said anything
and
like
I was
that.
supposed to be, like, cheering on, but I wasn't gonna cheer that on. That's
Why
disgusting.
do we forget that he called her children, which is something we would never do, the spawn
Never.
of Satan?
It's disgusting. He's
And
a
I
piece of
mean,
shit of a human.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
Unfortunately, they never made a statement. They never said that they disagree with his statements about Trisha's baby until it's useful. Like, what is it, 3 years later? Like, I mean, you're talking about it like you were aware of it at the time and that there was some amount of pressure or enthusiasm for you to get down with that. And what it sounds like to me is that you did see it at the time and you're like, ooh, I don't like that. And you didn't endorse it and you didn't fuck with it. Huh. It's almost like that is a fucking identical situation to me.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
So yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're trying to like paint themselves as the good guys, and they're saying like, yeah, we strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people on the internet. Unlike Ian and Anissa, who are fucking keeping to themselves. Also, why the fuck does Olivia get the pass?
What a fucking asshole for putting you in that position, Olivia. You're friends with him. And you don't have to say anything, but like, what a fucking piece of shit. What a bad friend to put you in that position just for some fucking clout. It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit, okay? Olivia did not do anything. And
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee to get that treatment?
I personally... Okay, because I've lost faith in AB and Lena, and I'm super disappointed that they haven't left the show. But I get it, you know, like, if this is your homeboy, if this is, like, someone, whatever, I get it. You stick with your person, you're trying to... We don't know what Lena and AB are trying to do in the background or whatever. But I feel like Olivia is relatively new enough, and I feel, and even for AB and Lena... I feel like they could leave the podcast and make money on their own, streaming on either Twitch or YouTube. Like, I think they will either break even or maybe make a little less. But I think they could literally leave the show. But when in regards to, like, Olivia specifically, I think she's like a punching bag along with AB. I have seen AB and Olivia get like Ethan be like really disrespecting them sometimes, and Olivia specifically, she's I think between her and Love, they're definitely like the youngest ones. And with Love, I try to give him charity, you know what I'm saying, because he is on a work visa in the United States, so I understand that he has to probably, you know, bite his tongue. But I'm like, Olivia can literally leave the podcast. I think she would probably break even if she just went on her own. But I think not just because she could make it on her own, but just because Ethan is so disrespectful. And I'm not sure what iDubbbz is talking about in regards to getting a pass, because I don't think Olivia ever gets a pass. I think she gets shitted on in the background.
Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or is it because Ethan is afraid of wrongful termination accusations and lawsuits?
And also, I don't mind putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame it as like other people making it hard on Olivia. You're making it hard on all of these people. Please acknowledge your role in this whole fucking thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is to Olivia and saying how Olivia is essentially just a victim in this whole thing.
It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit.
But me and Anissa are spineless. Ethan, your whole system is scrambled. My intention isn't to throw the employees under the bus. Like, you guys serve as the fucking foundation for calling out Ethan's hypocrisy on the whole subject. And I know that you guys have probably pushed back against Ethan over the years. How often are you supposed to do that? Do you have to do that every fucking week? It kind of seems like it. And that's exhausting. I don't want to confront my boss. It's not my fucking job to confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles on Twitch was not like my favorite segment to be a part of.
Yeah, friends like these.
Oh yeah, and our other good friends.
Yeah.
Anissa and Ian. Thanks, Anissa, for standing up for your girl. I actually stood up for you so many times because, like, why would I not? It was crazy.
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, if that's truly what you believed and you weren't just going to use it later.
Of course I was going to stand by you. That's insane. It's absolutely insane and disgusting. But now you choose to hang out with people that would have a problem with you if you defended me.
I'm not going to assume that Hila knows, but I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish. For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not gonna fucking defend you.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
Do we have that
I
one?
mean, like just the other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
He looked mean. I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
No, it's not.
So yes, you caught us. We're not gonna run to your defense when, I don't know, we follow people.
You know what's so crazy? I also did not, I liked Hila before I liked Ethan. I thought that she was the one who brought balance into the relationship. I was wrong. I guess what it was basically is that she wasn't talking a lot. And now that she talks, now I know that exactly what she's thinking, and it's not good. I'm gonna try to get tonight's video uploaded. It's nothing crazy. I doubt, if anything, you guys will get 2 videos tomorrow. I don't think a lot of people are on the stream because it's a Wednesday night, but I think there's like 2 people watching compared to Moist Critical, who has 9,000 people watching. Crazy. But let me see if I can get this video done and watch this. Just gonna 100% stimulate myself like an insane person.
We be following. That's one fucked up thing that you can say about Anissa and I is when we're on Twitter, we do be following.
So
the problem.
Okay, if you want to hang out with those people and have no spine and not stand up for another girl that stood up for you, enjoy your new friends.
She's friends with people like Denims.
I know.
Yeah. Which I'll
she's
show.
friends with
Denims
Denim.
is actually participating in this whole Child Protective Service lie.
Yeah.
Which I'll
and if
show
you're
you guys
friends
in a
with
bit.
them, then you're seeing what they're saying.
You'll notice that Ethan and Hila start talking about this Denims character. Originally, the complaint was about my former editor. He's been chatting shit about Ethan and Hila for the past year at least. They only care about it now because I guess it was spoon-fed to them via their Reddit that's clearly looking out for them. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are friends with Denims, but I would say it's the same level of friendship that we had with Ethan and Hila. It's like kind of an internet friendship. We think that she's a good person like we think Ethan and Hila are good people. Kind of a tricky situation. How can you possibly think that they're both good people at their core? People can have crash out moments. People can say things that they don't mean. People can say things because they want internet clout and attention. I don't know, I think they're both probably guilty of saying things that they don't mean for internet clout and attention. Right now, one's a little bit more fucking nasty to me than the other.
I just don't see how you can be my friend and also be friends with someone like that.
Well, you can't. So I already forgot about you.
I actually have a lot of friendships that are kind of that way, where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't fuck with the other friend, but there is someone in the middle who kind of fucks with both of them, but separately. Yeah, there's a lot of friendships that are like that. I'm not gonna make you guys like meet up and kiss or anything. I get it. You guys are in fucking...
You know what? That's so fun. Oh my god, it's only 22 minutes that we've done. It's so funny because why do I know too much about this? I need a life. So Steiny is a part of the Nelk Boys, and the Nelk Boys. Oh god, the Nelk Boys. It's just, oh my god, who cares? They're so irrelevant. It's insane. But basically, they're just tools. Like I don't have no other tools that are whatever. They're like also Trump supporters. They're just whack. They're just lame. Like I don't even care enough to explain. But Ethan is associating himself with these like people, like the Nelk Boys or Steiny, who he would make fun of back in the day. And these people do not have good mindsets at all, overall in general. Perhaps they're good to talk to for a few minutes, but I think if you were to dig in deeper, these are people that you probably wouldn't want to surround yourself by. So I think it's funny that he did bring that up. Because at least Denims, she might go in a little bit, but overall, I mean, I'll tell you what, she definitely wants more, I believe her belief system is way better than freaking Steiny's.
You're either my best friend who's deep-throating me to the base of my cock, or you are Satan. You're the devil.
The last thing I said to Anissa, we were texting before I ever talked about it. She's like, I don't care about this guy. He's a nobody and, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, then you'll have no problem publicly denouncing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never replied.
Ethan, you can't even phrase it in a way that doesn't make you sound like you're being coercive and shitty. Well, then, you should have no problem publicly denouncing it, right? Does that sound like a friend? It kind of sounds like something a powerful villain would say.
But it was so funny how she immediately went to comment everywhere, like on our subreddit. She immediately had to comment like, "Oh, he doesn't work with us anymore." That was it. That's all she said.
But then say that you don't.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say for your friends, though?
One of the reasons Anissa was so quick to clarify things in your Reddit is because your Reddit was already talking about who this editor is, and they were spreading misinformation that it was our co-host on our podcast, Uncle Dane. So yeah, the last thing we wanted is this guy getting pulled into this mess, and you guys don't give a fuck. Would it have been nicer and more supportive to say, we don't agree with the things he's saying and we support Ethan and Hila? Sure. Yeah, that would have been a nicer thing to say. Our silence means something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure your shit out. And then maybe we can find a moment in time, I don't know how long it'll be, but a moment in time in the future where things are a little bit easier to broach. I don't think we need to do it right now, but you've insisted that this is an important thing to address. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me on your Instagram story. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me and my wife on your podcast twice. I would be fine with you not brigading my comment section on my podcast that gets 3,000 views a week because I prefer to not to do harassment campaigns and instead talk about Vampire's Kiss.
At least say something like, he doesn't work for me, and I strongly disagree, and I support Ethan and Hila. The problem is
that she doesn't.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
She actually.
She thinks they have a point.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Go fuck yourself. What about your girl? This is what I'm talking about. This aggression that you're putting out into the world. What the fuck do you think we're gonna do? You think I'm gonna fucking sit on my hands when you do this shit? This is nasty. We had such a fair response to what you guys were going through. We don't support harassment. It's a bad thing, but it happens, and you're perpetuating it.
You fucking propagandist, lying scumbag, terrorist supporter. He probably sits up a mirror and jerks off watching himself. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite.
You can't expect other people to stop harassing you if you continue to harass people. Let's think about it on a micro level. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever. if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of like a line, what happened today, that should never be crossed, even by like the most cynical, toxic people. It's going to have ramifications in terms of how I conduct myself. In terms of these fair weather friends who are, you know, so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Ethan, that is a rich thing to say. Like, you're the H3 podcast, okay? There's a lot of friends of the show. There's even more fair weather friends of the show. Let's not get into this shit, okay? That is so bizarre and insulting to suggest that I was only ever being friends with you to get something out of it. No, I'm friendly with you, and I'd say I'm a light friend because it's been pleasant hanging out with you. I've enjoyed your content over the years, and as of late, it's gotten really fucking shitty.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Who else? Who else do we want to burn today?
Who else do we want to burn today? You're making it so fucking obvious that this is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are. There was a way to approach this to say like, yeah, we feel hurt by you guys not saying something. You've decided to do the extra thing.
No, I cannot stress it enough. You got the H3 podcast was supposed to be goofs and gaffs, okay? I don't watch it anymore, but just from the clip, who else are we gonna burn today? I swear, I don't think Gila has talked that much when I was originally watching, so it's just like conspicuously like vindictive and not vindictive, just like aggressive, like conspicuously aggressive in regards of like their hate campaigns and who they're going after. And on my channel I did make a video with like Hassan and Ethan, and in regards to like friendship and how quickly sour it can turn, I think even with all the friendships I've had in my life, I don't think it has been ever this nasty. And I hope I'm never like an Ethan in this like situation, because it is just, it's sad to watch. And it's just, I don't want to be these type of people is what I'm saying.
And attack. Now, in fairness, I am attacking back, but I feel very insulted and I feel defensive and I feel like I am speaking up for a lot of people who have problems with you and a lot of people who have been on the receiving end of your harassment.
It's so easy to be anti-racist. Everybody's anti-racist. Racism is the worst thing in the world, right? We fucking hate racists. Fuck racists.
Microaggressions.
The minute that they actually have to stick their neck out for somebody, the minute they have to actually risk something to put themselves in under scrutiny, to sacrifice something personally to stand up for racism, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I don't want to get involved.
And that's drama.
How much do you care?
I don't do drama.
How much do you actually care? Isn't that the whole point? Like,
I realize that Ethan and Hila are more scared now than they've probably ever been. I feel like anti-Semitism is a thought in their heads now more than ever. And it's not completely unjustified to be thinking about that sometimes. You guys are just hurt and you're kind of like dancing around and making very like loose, poorly thought out analogies for something that doesn't even apply to us. It's like me making this video is the standing up for something and it's saying, fuck you, you guys are being bad. You know, I don't think you're bad people, but you're being bad. You're behaving poorly. You're hurting people.
I mean, go back to the civil rights. You think that the people who are like the white kids who are protesting with the black students, you think that they were just like not risking anything? Those kids who are marching with the black students and...
So in Ethan's analogy, he's the black student and I'm the white student, but I'm the white student that's not, you know, marching by his side. I'm not doing the difficult thing. You're gonna have to march on your own, black student.
marching with the black students, and
I mean, why is it inspiring? Why is it inspiring?
Well,
I feel like this is like, even watching clips is so unbearable. Oh my god. And I don't know if it's because Ethan's tics have gotten worse, but the sniffing, oh my god, he's always sniffing and coughing, and his eyes are like this all the time. And then he always has like the weirdest analogies, and it's just like iDub said, it's like, it's justified. Like, anti-Semitism is a thing, but for me, I think a lot of their anger and frustration is misguided.
And it's the same thing, to bring it back to the song just because, but it kind of is the same thing. Like, I was thinking about going to Gaza until I found out it's dangerous. He's a total performative activist that doesn't give a single fuck about the cause.
It's been performed exquisitely, harassing one person and seamlessly transitioning into harassing another one. If anyone's been watching for the past fucking year, I'm pretty sure they have a good idea of your feelings about Hassan.
Like, people like Anissa are the perfect example because she's friends with these people. She's friends with Denims. Denims is streaming this story about our kid
I'll show that, yeah.
getting Giarda from the dog, whatever.
I'm sorry, I'll accept this position from anyone except you guys. You have laid the groundwork for this type of streaming, which is watching people's shit and giving your unfiltered reaction to it. Why would you expect Anissa, of all people, to say something to Denims? Okay, so by that logic, we should be saying shit to you guys all the time. But I have a feeling you guys wouldn't like if we said shit like that to you all the time. Yeah, we've been respecting you as independent content creators. You can do what you want. We'll treat you as adults. Maybe we shouldn't have been treating you as adults.
She could say so much, and it would make her a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's not comfortable. She'll get a little bit of shit.
Yeah, just for saying
But that would be commendable.
And by the way, it kind of speaks for itself that saying, hey, their house is claimed, they're, they're actually good people, like that's going to get you shit. That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
There isn't a single person that I respect who would give a fuck if I publicly said that Ethan and Hila are great with their kids, Ethan and Hila didn't kill their dog, and Ethan and Hila wipe their asses or don't have Giardia or whatever the prompt is. No one would care. The only person who would care is me, because I'm like, why did I tweet this out? I'm not tweeting out because I'm not your fucking lapdog. That's why I'm not tweeting it out. I'm not saying it to my audience because I don't give a fuck. It's not my business.
That's, in my opinion, doing something that's difficult and standing by your principles. That's the whole point. That's what makes standing by your principles admirable, is that it's not always easy.
Why are you saying that I'm not standing up for my principles when you don't even know what they are? I get, like, we're a little bit past directly naming me, so we might have gone off on a tangent. If you maybe accepted the phone call and we talked about it, you could have asked me, hey, what are your principles? And I can tell you the way I've been behaving is exactly in line with my principles. Now we're going to talk about the BDS list. We're going to start off with Frogan because obviously this is like as bad as it gets. If you're following Frogan, that can only mean that you're anti-Ethan. Oh, this is not a good start. Love of the H3 podcast. You are following Frogan, so that means that you are anti-Ethan. Sam, Morg Pie, friend of the show. Olivia, Ian, Daily Dose of Internet is anti-Ethan. Jesus, this is fucked up. Pokimane.
I will say, Sam does not work for the H3 podcast anymore. Sam does not work for the H3 podcast anymore. I don't think she should be thrown in this anymore. Also, Ian recently left the H3 podcast. I feel that these people are now on their own. Everyone that's friend of the show doesn't matter, right? We should just start with Ethan's inner circle, H3 inner circle.
Comment etiquette. Oh shit, Asmongold's in here? Asmongold follows Frogan? No, Asmon! That means you're anti-Ethan. That's fucked up. We're gonna want to avoid these creators at the top of the list, but one tier below them are the creators who associate with them. They're essentially endorsing all of their statements. You got me, you got Anissa, I think Hassan's in there. You'd think that Hassan would be on the top of the BDS list, but that's not the case. Hassan provides additional value for people. Ethan can turn a blind eye to people collaborating with Hassan because that's what he did. You gotta be the lowest of the low to be associating with the Frogans and the Denims of the world. To associate with Hassan, that just makes sense because he's famous and he's got a massive fan base. Also, Ethan still follows Hassan on Instagram, so Hassan is in his feed.
And that's showing up right up on Anissa's and IDubbbz's feed.
It's important to remember that this is a living document and people can be removed or put onto it depending on how Ethan's feeling that day. You have this other tier of creators that exist below Hassan but are still anti-Ethan, but Ethan really doesn't want to bring your attention to these ones because it's kind of unpopular, you know? A lot of them are famous. It's no coincidence that Ethan stays silent when these powerful, popular men are supporting Hassan. It's because Ethan is a
yeah, I know Theo Von's pretty popular, and Starvos. I don't know who that other guy is, but see now with Jeff Wittek, which is the guy in the flannel, I kind of wonder, because he's kind of been a person, like he's someone who's friends with like Logan Paul and like Ethan at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a lot of friends in the industry. So I kind of wonder, and they got relatively close, especially after the whole thing with David Dobrik. And I think him and like Jeff Wittek's and Ethan Klein's friendship, I thought was very wholesome, as they were on different sides, and then they ended up being friends, which is nice, you know. But I do kind of wonder if he will burn bridges, and when I say he, I mean Ethan will burn bridges with Jeff because he's still in contact with Hassan, or like is Jeff just not going to work with Hassan in regards to like giving him haircuts or doing collab videos? Like I wonder how that's going to go, because Jeff Wittek usually kind of stays out of a lot of drama and whatnot. So I'm interested in seeing how that's going to be affected in the future.
Coward. He's a bitch-made coward. I think Ethan has an unreasonable amount of respect for these comedians because they have power, they're quick, and I think he knows that they don't fuck with his ideology. But he's gonna keep that to himself because the last thing that he wants to discover is that people that he respects and looks up to, they don't fuck with him.
Bill Burr came on. It was like the worst fucking show. It was just horrible. That was like my lowest moment on podcast history. I could talk about Bill Burr, ruined my life. Bill Burr made Ethan go on Lexapro. I was prescribed it and it was in my bedside. And then it was the Bill Burr episode that made me finally start.
When Stavros goes on Hassan's stream and he mocks your content nuke.
I actually saw a really interesting video about you, man, and I don't know that I'm even comfortable being here anymore.
Oh no.
It really kind of shed light on you in a way.
Yeah.
You kind of like have leftist politics and stuff like that. And I actually feel betrayed.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually just here to let you know this is the last time I'm ever coming.
You don't fire back because you're coping. So you're just going to tuck your tail between your legs and never mention on your podcast that mentions everything. You're bringing up some fucking connection I have on Twitter. Someone mocks you on a stream, you're not touching it. Fuck you, you're a coward. It's just his job. It's just what he does for his job. You know, he doesn't mean it. We're actually good friends. You know, he makes fun of everyone. It's not just me, right? Oh, also, I can't forget about Matt Lieb. Matt Lieb is in this like middle tier. His valuable association is Rhett and Link. So Rhett and Link, conveniently, are also in this category of popular and powerful men who Ethan does not want to burn bridges with. Although, he's sniffing around.
This guy, Matt Lieb, he works for Good Mythical Morning. Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb, who apparently is a producer for Good Mythical Morning. Well, this guy works for Good Mythical Morning, acting like he's wholesome, and he's bringing on somebody that wants to kill my wife, or in a video game. And I think he should be fired, frankly. And I hope he is fired. He's pathetic. And he interviewed basically a terrorist.
I think Ethan only respects power right now, which is one of the reasons I made this video in the first place, is because he thinks I'm weak. He thinks a a lot of these other creators that he's gone out of his way to attack, he thinks that they're weak and he thinks they're a target that he can bully, he can manipulate, he can send lawsuits to. And I want him to know.
I agree with that. Because, well, Frogan's a very small Twitch streamer. Although known, I think she's a very small Twitch streamer. Denims is also kind of small. Noah Samson was not in the bingo card, okay? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that he would go after Noah Samson the way he did. And it got to a point where, so I just check Noah Samson's like Instagram periodically, and he like had to what's it called, make his profile private for a little bit, and it's because people in the H3 fandom were like bombarding him, and it was so crazy, and it's just sad. Like, he really is going after like very much like smaller creators. So I kind of wonder when bigger YouTubers or Twitch streamers such as like Moist Critical or D'Angelo Wallace. Yo, if D'Angelo Wallace comes back with a H3 video, that would be like, but I know he's probably not going to do that. Or a smaller YouTuber that would like to cover this is Nicole Raffi. That would be dope. I made the friendship video, and that one got like 1K views, and then I made another video on how to like that. I just have so much Teddy Fresh and I don't know what to do with it, and I already got a comment saying like I'm anti-Semitic, and it's like, it's scary. Like, not only is just like Ethan, just he knows he has this crowd of people, this group of people that are gonna do whatever and harass others, especially if they're smaller YouTube creators, which is why I haven't done any videos specifically, because I'm just, I don't want none of that smoke. I will cry. Like, I will cry.
That we're not going to be bullied. You're being a piece of shit and we're going to call you out.
So here's the button. You've got a video and you've got an audio. We're hitting both.
Yes.
There's no point.
Let's leave.
Yeah, there's no need.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. But shit, like, how pathetic are you? Don't worry if you don't have it all now. I don't like pedophile. Like the Eye of Sauron. I see you. I see you out there, you fucking cockroach. You'll be living with your parents for a lot longer, buddy. Yes, please. I want to be a good Jew. I'm a good Jew. Please, guys, please.
That's fine. That was fine. Yeah, I don't think it was that.
That was fine.
Big a deal. Of all the things that
Anywho.
it always surprises me what you think crosses the line.
Well, I looked at Olivia and she's like, yes, do it.
Now let's talk about the button. Ethan got this button, or kill switch, as a response to the controversy with Cutie Cinderella. He was not able to control himself in that moment, and instead of figuring out how he can change his behavior, he spent $20,000.
Dan and Ela were like, we would kill button that right now if we could. I can't change who I am.
I know. That's why the kill button is on its way.
That's it. See, exactly.
He uses the button for everything. If his jokes don't land, he's hitting the button.
It was being presented as if the Jordan crying thing.
I hit the button.
Why?
I don't think I needed to, but you guys were giving me crickets, so I panicked.
If he's insecure about getting something wrong, he's hitting the button.
But okay.
What? Button for that? What on this frame could Ethan have responded to? Perhaps the country flag that he got wrong? Maybe. I don't know.
If he goes on a problematic tirade, he's hitting the button.
Before, look how sad. But yeah, it's not just that. Like their eyes are like big. I think you guys are wrong on this one. I think you guys are all wrong on this one.
I don't think he's unique in hitting the button. I think if all of us had buttons, we'd hit the button all the time. But if you don't have it, you operate differently. You think about what you're saying. You maybe plan for your show a little bit more. You maybe say, I'm not going to have my podcast be an emotional dumping ground for today. You instead say, ooh, it's important that we stay on topic. Also, the H3 community and Ethan himself use the phrase goblin mode all the time to excuse a lot of his shitty behavior or make it seem less bad.
I've been diagnosed with goblin mode, actually.
By claiming that what happens is he just gets into this like uncontrolled state he refers to as goblin mode.
I do not call myself goblin mode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, you did.
Goblin mode? Is that what you're calling Tourette's now? To all victims of goblin mode, I would like to issue an apology.
You got goblin mode.
First of all, yeah, goblin mode was like such a fun little thing until it wasn't. And also, fun fact, Ethan's basement, the clip that was just showed, I think they got shut down by H3. But now they do Hasanabi Animated or Hassan Animated, which you guys should go subscribe to for like little clips of Hassan's stream. So cute.
Today, you're goblin mode. Look how many times you paused.
I'm trying, bro.
And I don't think there's no room for using the term goblin mode. I like the idea that you're defending yourself and the little guy by going goblin mode when a big corporation or a big entity is trying to attack you.
Like, if you fuck me over, if you steal money from me, if you patronize me, if you do any of this shit like you're trying to do to me, to treat me like a fucking idiot, I'm crazy, dude. I've gone fucking goblin mode over way less.
But you not thinking about what you're saying, not, reflecting on your behavior, not changing your behavior, that's not goblin mode. That's being a child. Let's talk about the crew. I think the crew has been put in the worst working environment that you possibly can be for a fucking podcast. Every crew member has it bad. To be around Ethan, period, would be a nightmare right now.
I'm standing by every fucking syllable of that, okay? What she did was abhorrent. And by the way,
just dumb. Listen, your critique of her is correct. It's just, people.
Were his eyes always that open? Like when we see other videos, like.
Well, people are sensitive about women being called that word, and so.
Like, how pathetic are you? You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm not assuming his pronouns, and fuck all these people. Go ahead.
No,
and I'm not yelling at you. I'm just. Kelly is a black woman, right?
Yes.
Maziel is a
Korean.
Oh, Dan, come on! You're being such a buzzkill. Yeah, I don't know Korean. I asked if Koreans are POs. God.
Dan's in the bathroom. Let's just not do this right now.
I asked if Korean people are POCs.
The one time the button didn't work and we listened to how he spoke to AB without thinking that the internet was going to hear it, it was rude, it was nasty, and it didn't have this caveat of like, I'm not mad at you. It was anger, and it was uncalled for.
Use they get access to cover most of it.
We're doing it.
What are you doing?
So awkward and terrible.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Just like this is what I'm talking about when it's always like.
We need to get home for our kids.
It's like, bro.
Oh no, I didn't want to finish it right now. I was just talking about finishing Wednesday.
On Friday, maybe. Is it?
You guys like.
All right, I'm taking my hand off the. What? Okay, well.
I heard all that.
Thanks, button.
And he didn't want to take accountability for it.
Oh my god, that was probably one of the worst moments too. But that's not the first time that. Okay, that was probably one of the first times that the button did it. But it's not the first time that he talks to his staff like that. That was just like a very. This is why it's like people get mad at AB and Lena, because we know, especially with just that little clip, we know how they treat them, behind closed doors. And I think maybe the money is good. We don't know their situations. Like, bro, I've worked for some horrible people because of I need food. So I try being lenient, but it's like, I feel like AB and Lena, Olivia, I feel like all of them could make a living without H3. Like, I'm pretty sure. Like, bro, just go on Twitch. Just do YouTube Live.
He immediately wanted to deflect and he wanted to say that the button fucked him.
First of all, I appreciate the hard work.
I know you do.
And I loved it, and I really enjoy it. But it's like every time we do it, it's like the show is what it is, and
I know.
it makes it.
I was being selfish.
No, dude, that button f***ed me, dude. Can you imagine that button f***ing me over like that?
The button fucked you? AB fucked you? Who fucked you? You fucked yourself by being an asshole. He makes it seem like he's not a tyrant of a boss.
They're doing it.
What are you
It's
doing?
so awkward and terrible. I appreciate the hard work.
I know you do.
And I loved it, and I really enjoy it.
Dan, his producer, is constantly clarifying things on the air and making it clear that what Ethan said was a joke. Ethan is being overly defensive, or he's saying things that are like not true and he's exaggerating.
People saw that. They thought that was what you searched to
I did
pull
not
up that
type
photo. So I'm just clarifying.
Thank you for clarifying. I
Yeah.
appreciate you doing that. God forbid.
It's okay because I buttoned it.
Why?
Because
it's not that big of a deal, man.
Just your inability to.
No. Hold on, Dan. How does it change anything? People knowing that we did it.
It's fun when it's a surprise.
Okay, well,
you just asked how it changed
Surprise
things.
them on your show.
Okay, all right.
You know, I understand that that's his role, and Ethan's made that his job, or Dan's made it his job. Ethan leans on it so heavily, in the same way that he leans on the button. Ethan is leaning on all of these people to be adults and look after his behavior and give all of this emotional and empathetic energy for Ethan, but Ethan refuses to give it back to them. Also, let's talk about AB and Lena, two Lebanese employees, and you just continue to talk about the conflict like they don't exist. It would be nicer, a lot nicer, for you to shut the fuck up about it. You're allowed to do that.
Hezbollah in Syria alone killed double that much. All right, I'm gonna move on. I just want to play Hassan talking about bad.
I don't think that this video is gonna come out. But let me just finish this.
Banana.
Ethan doesn't want to change, and he wants to bring the entire crew down with him because he's putting them in this position every day, right? But it's more important that he gets this shit off his chest. It's more important that he dumps. We're all familiar with Goblin Mode. Well, Ethan debuted a new mode recently.
And by the way, my ratio is pretty good. Like, I'm looking at like 20 Goblin modes to 1 too far. Demon mode, let's call it.
What makes Demon Mode different than Goblin Mode is goblins aren't really like an intimidating, powerful force. If the goblin is persistent, it can get what it wants.
When I'm done with the other one, the big one that's dropping probably next week, my full attention is going to you, George. Like the Eye of Sauron. I see you. I see you out there, you fucking cockroach.
Ethan, the reason the internet got behind you when you were being sued by Matt Haas or when you were being sued by Ryan Kavanaugh is because people saw you as the underdog. They saw you as the guy who's defending the common man.
I'm suing, and I cannot wait for you guys to read it. At the moment, we are writing 3 complaints for 3 people.
You are doing the classic rich asshole thing. You have a deficit of friends, you have a surplus of enemies. You feel really bad, you feel hurt, but you also have a surplus of money. So what can you do? You can use that money to bully and intimidate people. These public legal threats that you're making to fellow creators, these legal threats that you're making to people on Reddit, on Twitter, you're like, I'm hurt. These people are hurting me. What do I do to stop it? There's nothing I can do to stop it. I'm powerless. No, you have a ton of power. You have a ton of options. You have a ton of choice. That's exactly what you get for being filthy rich, is you can do all of these things.
I've never want to sue someone for defamation, but at what point do you kind of fucking have to? I mean, this is like basically someone calling you a pedophile. Be like, yeah, no, Ethan's a pedophile.
Dan Clancy or whatever, like the CEO of Twitch, and being
Pedophile. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite. There are certain things you can accuse people of that rise above to make it actionable, which is like wrongfully accusing someone of being a pedophile, a sex criminal, a murderer, shit like that. Dan Clancy now, in other words, he is a pedophile.
You have so much less to go off of saying that
Oh
than
no,
anybody
I was
has
just saying
about
based
Dream.
on his looks. Just on his based on his.
Well, at least you're self-aware.
That's 100% a joke. I have no evidence to conclude that he is.
One of the more notable.
Why would you even say that? Like, why would you even say that word when you don't even have any type of evidence or anything like that? That's so wrong.
Legal threats that Ethan has sent out recently is against Noah Sampson.
I have nothing but vibes to gain, and potentially your money as well. Don't worry if you don't have it all now. I'll garnish your wages. You're going to be living with your parents for a lot longer, buddy.
Noah Sampson is 26. Noah Sampson is 26 years old. Okay, I'm 31. Would I be bullying and harassing a 26-year-old? Like, I know better. Ethan is in his 40s. What are you doing? You have children. You are a parent. You're like, what are you doing? I just can't.
26, you know what I mean? Try 46.
Noah made a video that was critical of Ethan and other content creators when they're talking about Israel and Palestine. I mean, the way he's talking about Noah on his podcast is so fucking creepy and weird.
Is this a new thing?
This is a new thing. This happened during the show. Upon initial examination, it seems to check out, and it's not great for young Noah.
Can I say that? Don't say it yet.
I'll say it.
So he's a rape. So of course his standard. I don't know what he's accused of, so I'm not actually going to say. But
Ethan brought on a former partner of Noah to basically just shit talk him and say that he's a bad partner. But that's all that Ethan was able to extract out of it.
you are not accusing him of committing any crimes or doing R-word or anything like that. The accusation is that he's a sleaze.
Absolutely. Noah Sampson, as far as I know, is not a rapist.
Fuck you to Noah Sampson, who's not just a liar and a scumbag, but also a creep. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Now let's talk about the left-leaning Democrat.
He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things.
The thing that made me start to question Ethan's intentions is that when he was suggested to talk to Sam Seder, a fellow progressive, a guy that Ethan respects and looks up to.
He works with Sam Seder at the Majority Report.
In regards to Sam Seder, now if you have been watching H3 for like a while, oh God, what is this guy's name? Not Charlie Kirk, the other one. Oh my God. Yo, my brain. The guy that was like yelling at his wife on the camera, and he wears like holsters in his show. Oh my God. When oh my God, I don't know why I keep thinking Charlie Kirk. It's not Charlie Kirk. It's I'm just gonna put Ethan Klein versus Markiplier, Ryan Kavanaugh. No, what, bro? Not Oliver Tree. Oh my God, what's the guy? Oh my God, he turned down a job at with Ben Shapiro. Oh my God. What if I just Google who's that guy that does a podcast with the gun holsters? Oh my God. It's gonna bother me until I remember his name. But that's how insignificant that guy is. He's like a right-leaning, whatever. This guy, it's not Charlie Kirk. It's not, whatever. Oh, I'm so mad that I don't know. It'll come to me randomly, like at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll be like, oh, I know his name. But this guy basically, he's like a right-leaning whatever. He went on Ethan's show H3 to debate him, and I'm just trying to provide some lore here. And Ethan Klein, again, as a goof and gaff type of guy, he can't really debate, right? So who does he bring? He brings out Sam Seder, okay? And Hassan has been pleading with Ethan to like talk to someone who may understand the situation, as Sam Seder is Jewish. And Ethan Klein has like basically like he has not done this. And it's just so insane to me that you won't talk to the one person that may relate to you the most and that may be able to assist you the most.
I respect him and what they do there.
He kept saying that it was racist or anti-Semitic to suggest that he talked to someone who's within the same ethnic group as him.
That's why I said yesterday, like, I urge Ethan
Oh my God. You see, yo.
to talk to Sam Seder. There are very thoughtful, very kind anti-Zionist Jews out there that he could talk to. I don't think that I will be able to reach him.
What's the insinuation that I only listen to other Jewish people? You need to talk to my pre-approved list of Jews that like agree with me on everything. You know, it doesn't matter if they're Jewish, dude. It doesn't matter if they're fucking Jewish.
I think most Jews.
I don't think Jews at large view it. I don't think that is the.
In what position are you to even say that?
It's not motivated by myself. It's motivated by Jews against anti-Zionist
No,
Jews.
seriously, how can you speak for my entire ethnic group? I find that really interesting.
Ethan, I don't know what to fucking tell you. This is like step one of having a leftist ideology, is recognizing our race, religion, nationality, all this shit, all shape our experiences as people.
That's the reason why it'd be better served to have this conversation not with myself, but with an anti-Zionist Jewish person.
Why does it matter if they're Jewish?
Because I'm not Jewish, and you've said in this conversation that, like, how can you tell me how to feel about the situation?
Yeah, but how is one person representative of Jews at large? I'm just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret that phrase.
So yes, Ethan, on occasion you might be suggested to talk to someone who has some crossover with you. It doesn't have to be your ethnicity. It could possibly be someone who shares progressive ideology with you. It could possibly be someone who is of your same gender. I think Ethan understands this concept very well. He listened to these women on his show when they told him that he shouldn't be calling women bitches.
This bitch is intolerable. You are such a nasty fucking bitch, Ken.
I don't know if you can call her a bitch though.
She is a bitch. She's a fucking. You're right. I call her a see you next Tuesday.
Listen,
I'm curious, what do Lena and Sam think about it?
I wouldn't be okay with that.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's for the girlies, Ethan. But I
So
agree.
you guys all seem to be in consensus that it's in poor form. I think to respect the women here in the room, I'm going to have to pass on saying that.
I don't really care who calls who bitches. All right, that's not really. Who cares? I think. Well, wait. You know what? In this context, I don't know. I'm thinking about it now, because the way he calls like denims a bitch is like so aggressive, like so vindictive, and like way worse than him using bitch in this context. But
The infantilization of Ethan Klein is fucking nauseating. He's not a child. He is absolutely capable of looking into Hassan, learning about his politics, interviewing, doing loads of things to figure out where he stands.
He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things. And for the first time, I noticed an inordinate amount of radical, hardcore leftists. I mean, I thought we were
Hassan does not consider himself a Democrat, by the way.
social democrats, not whatever this was. This comment from Hassan really started to sound some alarms in my head. I was already getting uncomfortable with our partnership. I started to wonder if I had any idea who this guy actually is.
You made how many episodes with Hassan? Like, this guy made a fucking program with the biggest mega leftist on the platform. Now he's acting like he was tricked and he was incapable of figuring out what this guy's beliefs were. Bro, I didn't make the fucking leftist program. You did. You made fucking, what, 60 some odd episodes of this shit for hours talking to this guy? You didn't have a problem with any of it until, Ethan talks about being aware of his...
I agree. Because I hate that he uses that. He's like, oh, well, I didn't know. And it's like, listen, I was hate watching Leftovers for like the first like 1 or 2 episodes, and I fell in love because I really do resonate a lot with Hassan's political views. And yeah, they are very much a little bit more encouraging. I wouldn't say like far leftist extreme. I think he's a very reasonable guy. But like, if you didn't notice that in episode like you know what I mean, within the first like couple of episodes, then shut up. Because if you made 60 episodes, bro, you missed out. Like, if you would have canceled it on episode like 5 because he was too left-leaning or too extreme or radical, then fine. No, you went on for literally years with Leftovers.
Hassan's 9/11 comments, and then sort of leaves it at that. Like it was just a joke. Actually, I think Ethan describes them as edgy moments or jokes.
You might remember him from such classics as
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial jokes at the time we made the show together, because who am I to judge?
No, Ethan, those aren't jokes, right? When someone makes a controversial statement like that, that's not them trying to be funny. I can understand why you would conflate the two. That is someone who is extremely frustrated and passionate about a particular topic. In this case, American imperialism and terrorism. You could have looked into that. You could have talked to Hassan a little bit more and found out what his international politics opinions are. But you wouldn't even need to do that. You can look at it online. You're not a victim. You weren't tricked. You made 60 some odd episodes. If you didn't want to go down this route, you shouldn't have done it. But that was your fucking choice. You did it. You are an adult. When Ethan and Hila are watching Matt Lieb saying that one state doesn't represent all Jews, they cannot wrap their heads around the idea.
No single person represents all Jews.
I'm just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret that phrase.
No single person represents all Jews, as no single state represents all Jews.
This is another weird thing.
Oh my God.
Israel, this is a lie that I see Hassan and people pander. They say that Israel's going to war on behalf of Judaism. They have never, I don't believe that that's ever been stated. And I don't think Israel ever explains that it's like, I think Israel says it's a place where Jews can go.
Israel's just a place Jews can go? With that slogan, we might actually have peace. You know, if that's all you're defining Israel as, is a place Jews can go. Like, sure, it sounds like America to me. Like, all right.
I don't think that Israel said they represent all Jews. I don't think that's a stance. We're like, hey, displacing Palestinians is all Jewish people.
Ethan is being so disingenuous here to suggest that he doesn't understand what Matt Lieb is saying. Like, he's making a semantic argument. Like, I don't think Israel has said that it represents every last Jew on the planet. I don't think Israel has claimed that. They're not going to say that their most genocidal behavior represents anything to do with them, okay? But what they are going to do is they're going to inexplicably link Israel and Jewishness together, so when they're being criticized, all of a sudden they have the perfect defense. Oh, another thing I need to mention. There was a tier list. It was called the Who Can Say Habibi tier list. It was presented at TwitchCon as like a panel that was just meant to be lighthearted and fun, and Ethan Klein saw that, and he decided that it was anti-Semitic.
Here, listen, and we're going to need your help to discuss and figure out who can say Habibi and who can't. And also,
This is what got a few creators banned, by the way.
We have tiers. We have Arab coded. They ask permission to say Habibi. Like you got like a white guy who's like, can I say it? Is it a slur? And then Love Sabra, which is they're not Arab coded at all.
Now, when I first saw this tier list, I immediately knew what it was doing. I was like, oh, it's a play on the who has the N-word pass and who doesn't tier list. Granted, Habibi is very different than the N-word, but it is a cultural word amongst Arabic-speaking people and Muslim people. Like that is a word that's used. Habibi. It means my love. Oh no, don't do that, Habibi. Oh yes, Habibi. You're my Habibi, I'm your Habibi. So yes, it's meant to be a fun way that these Arab...
Why do you say that in the Trump? You're my Habibi, I'm your Habibi. Why do you say it like that? Bro, yeah, Habibi, unless you grew up with, I mean, I don't know, I'm not Arabic, but I've been called Habibi. I've said Habibi. I don't know this that much about this, so I didn't really understand this, but...
Arab content creators can express their Arab culture and be proud of it and happy about it, because it's not like they have massive representation on the platform.
Making a tier list based on race, and nobody has a fucking problem with that. Okay, you have a tier list based on race. Where's the Jewish panel? Where's the Jewish panel? Where at the top it says Jewish. It's a tier list based on Arab to Jew. He's Arab, which is good. That's the best thing you can be on this. That's the best. This is racist.
I will say that conveying information through a tier list is not the most effective thing, but Ethan should understand this principle. He did a white slurs tier list with Hassan.
Cracker.
I mean, you know what my take is.
We can't put this as an F. Cracker. I mean, that's got to be at least a D, right?
Pale face motherfucker.
Pale face. I mean, again, I think that's an F. Hog.
So hog is my favorite. I use it all the time.
Him and Hassan feel as though they're white guys, so they felt very comfortable talking about white slurs on their tier list.
I think I'm more white than you. What do you think?
I think I'm white. Like, I'm super white.
Can you understand why Arabs might feel...
Oh my god, his eyes aren't as bulgy. Like, his eyes definitely became super bulgy. It's crazy.
Comfortable talking about Arab shit on their tier list, Ethan? You're the white guy. You think you're more white than Hassan.
I think I'm more white than you.
So yeah, the white guy can say all the things that he wants, like cracker, but the Arabs can't have their tier list.
I would put him also in Arab. I know Turkish people are different.
Notice how they dropped the premise almost immediately that it's about who can say Habibi. And then it's like, Hassan, okay, actually he's Arab. We fucking love him. He's dope. He's Arab.
Habibi is an Arabic word. That is an Arabic word, Ethan.
Funny about this whole thing is that they say Habibi in Israel. Again, people underestimate just how like mixed Israeli culture is. Like,
we say Habibi in Israel. Yes, Ethan. Another piece of evidence as to why it isn't anti-Semitic.
This is racist.
If you're not Arab or understand Arab culture at all, which is a lot of Americans, and Ethan Klein presents you this tier list and calls it anti-Semitic, you're just gonna eat it up. It's not. Ethan is just proving his location on this tier list under Love Sabra because he doesn't understand Arab culture. There's a lot of Arabs who eat Sabra. There's a lot of people like me who eat Sabra. A lot of the times it's all that's in the store, and I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna eat it, but it is not the good shit. Like the average Arab American, they're gonna go in the store and the only option they have is fucking Sabra. And that sucks that that's the only option, right? Arab communities and distribution facilities are not widespread across the US. So what are they left with? They're left with a common, relatable, shitty hummus, which is...
Bro, I'm sorry. You are not catching me eating Sabra, alright? I'm telling you right now, you will not catch me eating Sabra. What? Come on, guys. We could do better, but I get what you say. Depending on where you live, I know it's a little difficult.
Is Sabra. And what's so fucking pathetic about this whole thing is after he was able to get these Arab creators banned off of Twitch for 30 days, he goes on to talk about how bad Sabra hummus is on his show.
I don't think anybody prefers Sabra over homemade like restaurant quality hummus. You know, it's what's there.
Like weirdly fluffy.
It is
Sabra.
fluffy.
Weird.
Yeah.
I would buy it sometimes and eat it. It's not the best.
The problem is with Sabra, in my opinion, it's only good.
Who the heck is that? Is this a new person on the show?
Which is Sabra. And what's so fucking pathetic about this whole thing is
good for the first 2 days.
For some reason, like when you
is on his show,
I don't think anybody wants to prefer Sabra over homemade like restaurant quality hummus. You know, it's what's there.
Like weirdly fluffy.
It is fluffy.
Sabra.
Okay, like that's Olivia.
Weird.
Yeah.
I would buy it.
Like, who is this? Who is this woman?
It sometimes and eat it. It's not the best.
The problem is with Sabra, in my opinion,
I'm sorry. It's because I don't know. I haven't seen H3. But you know when you're watching like a news thing and it's just like a quick random person saying something and you're like, what? That's what it felt like. Like she's just some random person.
it's only good for the first 2 days.
For some reason, like when you eat this Sabra shit, it just feels so much heavier. And imagine eating a whole fucking vat of Sabra. That's crazy.
Yeah. I've never liked hummus.
Oh, okay. Well, you hate Jews then.
I don't.
And Arabs.
Yeah.
This is racist.
Yeah, it's almost like you can have a discussion about Sabra hummus being a bad hummus without it being at all related to a Jewish thing or an Israeli thing. He can have that discussion as much as he wants on his podcast because we all know his intentions aren't anti-Semitic.
This is what he did. He hit his heart hard.
The Zionism is leading to not accepting other cultures, embracing their own culture, and instead thinking that that is an attack on you. There's this incident on the podcast where they were reacting to Cutie Cinderella, and Ethan was laughing during it. So that ended up being a pretty important wake-up call for Ethan. He made an apology video directed at Cutie Cinderella, and it was graded by a professional psychologist, Dr. Kirk Honda of Psychology in Seattle, and Ethan got an A+ rating.
In terms of a public apology, this is A+.
Ethan won't stop talking about his A+ rating.
You know, he rated my apology to Cutie Cinderella a perfect score, a perfect 10.
A perfect 10 out of 10?
Literally 10 out of 10. Go back. I can teach you how to make a good apology. I'm the best at
10 out of 10.
I know what a perfect apology is, lady. You?
We know who has the perfect. Guys, the only person that could rate apologies is PewDiePie, alright? We all know that.
Fucking don't. Is my perfect apology in this PowerPoint? Dude, I got a perfect 10 out of 10. This one is actually best apology, so. Ethan Klein, you guys, oh my God.
I was trying really hard to think about an impactful moment during this video. Like, could I do something that would really wake Ethan up? And I don't know if this came from a good place or not, but I came up with the idea of getting Ethan's grade changed from an A to a B at least. So I went to visit Psychology in Seattle. I'm not confident that Kirk will change his grade, but it's worth trying. And, you know, we might learn a thing or two.
Xander! Probably get pretty low marks. Unlike me, perfect score, 10. I said, hey, Lud, no wig drama. Why are you such a spineless coward of a person now that you've inserted yourself and your girlfriend into this conversation?
Okay, iDubbbz, I hear you. You're in the room with me right now. I hear you. I hear your request. I understand it. I can understand where it's coming from. And I guess have a policy that when there is a grade for an apology, I am just grading that discrete apology as I see it without taking any consideration of prior or future behavior. If
I'm sorry, this guy rates apologies. I mean, how much do you get paid? Because I can do that job.
You're wanting me to comment on the overall behavior or the recent behavior from the clips that you have shown me. I believe that Ethan is a good person and that eventually he will feel sorrow and will feel sorry and will apologize. And I will be there to evaluate that apology when it happens, which I know it will.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Why is SpongeBob so good? You know what, bro? I will say, if Ethan just takes like 90 days off of YouTube and just realizes and says sorry, I'm 100% sure that people will forgive him.
Unfortunately, Kirk did not change his grade, but that's okay because this is the internet. Anyone can have their own official apology rating system, so I'm going to rate Ethan's apology a B-. That's just based on my own feelings and my own rubric. When Psychology in Seattle was watching these video clips of Ethan, he said that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug. Now, of course, it kind of pisses me off to hear that shit because I'm like, what are we doing? What are we saying? He needs a hug? No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good fucking ass whooping is what he needs. I think something that's very...
Like I always say to people, okay, sometimes you need a swift smack in the face. And I say that because I have been swiftly smacked in the face a few times. Only a few times. And I will tell you, that puts you in your place.
Very important to me in bringing back Content Cop is to be fair. I think that was something that was not illustrated in previous Content Cops that I think should have been and probably wouldn't have left me with so much regret. Ethan deserves all of the criticism that he's getting. I think it's very valid. But I also think at the end of the day, we should acknowledge that he's human because he is human. And he is in a situation that's making him extremely scared, paranoid, defensive, sensitive, and I'm sure other features and feelings. In the spirit of Kirk saying that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug, I have challenged some of his most powerful haters to put down the haterade and just say something nice and charitable about him because I think he deserves it.
I just wanted to say that I respect that you are genuinely yourself on the internet. I think a lot of other people respect you for it as well. I think that's a big reason why people were drawn to your content in the first place. I think that's a lot of the reason why your employees chose to work with you over anyone else.
Ethan, I think it's respectable that you even began this journey to leave behind the anti-SJW crowd and step into a more empathetic worldview. I know it's not easy.
Ethan Klein, I think that when you are being goofy, when you're being silly, when you are being lighthearted, and just having fun with your friends, I think that is when you're at your best. So I'd love to see more of that. That'd be sick.
I will be reading my letter off because I don't want to sound robotic. H3 used to be the sports for good that I used to watch. I hope that one day gets back to what I remember. You are one of the inspirations for me to start creating content, so all this has stunk. I hope you really hear this, and I wish you the best.
I think Ethan Klein rocks a buzz cut pretty good, and I think he's got a good choice of facial hair. I think it's really cool what he did 8 years ago, fighting that frivolous lawsuit. That was pretty fucked up, and fighting it, he changed YouTube for the better. And I thought that was cool because I thought it was like he was fighting for free speech.
I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Neela. I'm like, fuck, it's really hard to be a couple online and see people attacking your partner, and it's like, okay, like if you come to their defense, if that doesn't always help them, right? Sometimes that makes it worse for them.
And I have been kind of slipping into a very unhealthy place where it's gotten worse and worse, and I get criticized more and more, and I get more defensive and more pulled up, a feeling of almost infallibility that I could take anything on. It led me to make a lot of mistakes, and then when I was criticized for those mistakes, then I would act extremely defensive and nasty and not really processing them in a healthy way.
I wonder...
Destination, the beach.
I wonder if he... Ew, I hate that this is white. I wonder if he... I kind of wonder why Hassan didn't have a thing, but I wonder if it's because he's been saying good stuff the entire time. I wasn't exactly expecting that to end the way it did. It's a very positive way to end a video like that, because I mean, this is the thing. Anyone who has been an H3 fan, right? They get. I'm like trying to think of the words. Like, it sucks. Like, no one wants to stop supporting a creator that really made them feel good. Like, H3 got me through H3 got me through COVID. Like, let's just say that. So it stinks to see such a horrible downfall. And I think we're all just like hoping that this person gets the help that they need, because no one wants to. We don't want to see this, bro. So, I mean, I think it was a nice, positive way to end the video. However, with that being said, I don't know if being charitable is working, because I feel like a lot of people are being charitable with Ethan. Now, I don't know if this is going to change anything. So it's like, we have to see how this goes. I think Ethan already reacted, and I'm not going to watch his reaction, to be honest. I'm probably going to end the night, not here, but I'm going to end the night like chilling. So if you want to hang out, that's fine. I do have to use the bathroom, but I have a couple things I want to do before bed. And you can do it with me, even though I'm exhausted. I just have things that I really want to make sure that I'm doing every day. So I think that was a pretty good content caught video, and that was a great way to come back. However, I do want to see more creators that I like, at least. Again, it'd be cool if D'Angelo would come back with a video like this. Moist Critical would be a huge one as well. I know Philly D already covered this kind of briefly. I'm trying to think of who else that I follow, but maybe Patrick CC will do something. I gotta follow more women. I would say maybe Nicole Raffi, but she's a small creator. Like, I think small creators are a little afraid of Ethan Klein. Give me a moment. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, and then I have to get started with everything else I gotta do for the rest of the night. Probably be on stream for like another hour. Oh my god. My body is so used to sleeping at like 10. I gotta make sure I do like my routine here. I already messed up. Like, I already will not have my, I wanted to post daily, but it is what it is. Damn, man. It's crazy. Voice Critical with 11K views, and I have like 2 people watching. How do you do it? I'm definitely only gonna set an alarm for an hour because I don't want to stay up too late. Tomorrow I do have off. I gotta get some heat in this room, but look, this is like how I painted. I think these are like pretty fun. It's cold up in here. But, Alexa, set an alarm for what hour?
1 hour alarm set for 12:51 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh gosh, guys. I'm not hyped about being awake for this late, but sometimes you gotta make sacrifices, alright? You gotta make sacrifices so you can catch up with stuff. I gotta do my Duolingo. Voy a pasar 27 días en España. Leave my Spanish alone, it's not good. Él va a viajar por 26 días.
25, 26, 27.
Tired.
Los taxis son mejores que los autobuses.
Los taxis son mejores. Guys, my Spanish sucks. At this point, Duolingo is just like...
El avión llega en la mañana a las 6:30. Vamos a tomar 4 taxis porque tenemos 26 maletas y 2 perros.
Ellos llegan al muy tarde.
Pronto vamos a estar en el Caribe. Estamos felices. En junio hace calor y tenemos ganas de caminar en la playa y disfrutar el sol.
Tenemos que estar listos pronto. Estar.
Oh, shoot, sorry. Oh.
Tenemos que estar listos pronto. Estar.
What the?
Tenemos que estar listos pronto. Estar.
Oh, I couldn't hear her for a second.
Llegar.
It stinks because I'm okay with like reading and hold on. I'm okay with like reading and writing Spanish, but speaking I don't know.
Yo llego. La. Mañana.
Oh, yeah, I knew I was gonna. Tengo que.
Vamos a estar en Boston por 10 días.
Oh my god, what? I know, I didn't just. No. Wait, how did I?
Vamos a estar en Boston por 10 días.
Oh, I think I missed a word. Oh my gosh. Alright. Let me put something that we can watch. So now you guys see all my subscriptions. Now, I feel like I need to watch the Van Neistat video because, if you follow me on Instagram, Captmance, you will know that I really like, well, I don't just like watches, but I like clocks and stuff like that. I should have more clocks, but I also hate the concept of time, so it's such a weird, complex issue. But I think this video will be fun, so let's watch it. This is Casey Neistat's brother. Heads up.
About 2 years ago, out of the blue, I got this mysterious package from my brother. Perfect in every way. His words. Okay, well, let's see about that. Now, I give the watch to you. Now, it had been about 10 years since I had worn a watch on my wrist, maybe more. Give me the watch. So give me the watch, and I wear it, and I remember how much I love wearing a watch. But over the course of 6 or 7 months of wearing this watch, I realized that it's just another computer in my life. Now, I've got nothing against computers. I just fucking hate them. For instance, the beep. Let me explain. This watch lights up in the dark, and that's great for me because I wake up before sunrise. But I can't read the button functions in the dark, and I can't remember which button turns the light on, which means I'm usually accidentally queuing through the watch's different functions whilst I'm trying to turn the light on, which means I'm
sorry, what? Okay, this watch doesn't have a light, but, oh my god. Oh, this watch is also a couple minutes ahead. Wait, hold on. Oh, it's over. Okay, it's fine. This watch is gonna, I think it's gonna beep soon.
Sometimes turn the beep function on accidentally, which means every time I push a button, the watch beeps, which means I sometimes wake up my gal sleeping next to me.
Also, who sleeps with their watch on? I hate sleeping with my watch on. It's the most uncomfortable thing in the world. Why would you do that?
For this video, I had to fake the beep sound with a stethoscope because I couldn't figure out how to turn the beeping back on, having turned it off. And I even had an assistant help me out, do research, look for YouTube videos on how to do it with this. It's a computer. This is what they're like. I'm on the street here in January 2009, and this is the same model of the first computer I ever had. Totally changed my life. Same color too. Just thrown out with all the trash. I shouldn't hate computers. I should love them. And it's not really fair to say that I hate computers whole cloth. I hate how finicky they are to maintain. I hate that they're disposable. That iMac in the trash was 9 years old at the time. 9 years, man! This Land Cruiser is 38 years old, and I drive it every day. Sure, it has a computer. Right there, right there. But I don't really have to deal with it. Maybe once every couple years I'll get a fault code that reminds me to change the fuel filter dummy. But that's it. This e-ride has a computer that tells me how fast it's going, but that's it. This e-bike has a computer, but, well, actually, the computer in it is broken, and I have no hope of fixing it with reasonable amounts of time and money. So I I got myself an analog watch, 21 bucks on Amazon. A humble watch for a prideful man. But the glow-in-the-dark hands faded to invisible long before 4 a.m.
So tritium is the stuff that they make, that also lights up the watch hands.
One day I was working on something and I heard Joe Rogan talking about an analog watch that he had.
I have a marathon watch. Like, even if it's like pitch black out, all of the hour indicators are all lit up permanently. It's really cool.
With little tubes of radioactive gas on the hands and dial that were always bright.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time I hear that a man listens to Joe Rogan, I can't help but kind of feel like a little judgy, you know? And it's very disappointing that this guy just like, I mean, I don't know. I know that Joe Rogan is essentially a great interviewer, or used to be at some point. I mean, he was in Fear Factor and like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. You know, I get the hype around Joe Rogan, but I'm just saying, like, his podcast is not all that. It's just interesting how much men only listen to Joe Rogan. So it's just weird. That man, let me not.
Harmless radiation, always a light. No need to charge them with a flashlight. But if Joe Rogan had it, that meant I couldn't afford it. Sure, Rogan has a Land Cruiser, and I have a Land Cruiser, but ours cost us less than a new Kia, and Rogan's is a $300,000 custom-built TLC Land Cruiser by Jonathan Ward, who is basically the Leonardo da Vinci of Land Cruiser restorations. There's no way I'm affording a watch that Joe Rogan owns, but what the hell, I gotta see.
It's just, see, I thought I would like this video, and now I'm starting to dislike it the more it goes on. From what I know, Van Neistat is a humble person, right? The thing is, at least with like his brother Casey, they never, well, maybe again I'm basing more so on Casey. I never thought of them as someone to whine and moan, you know, I'm never gonna have money to get whatever, and his car was restored by the Da Vinci of the restorers of Toyotas, and I'm never gonna afford this watch. And maybe I'm preemptively, like, maybe he's gonna do it. But it's like, I don't know, bro. Can you just stop for like 2 seconds? Like, come
See
on,
what this
bro.
thing at least looks like. So I look up the Marathon watch, and okay, it's expensive, but not for a watch. And if I can get it in an episode, I can sort of justify the expense, especially if it's my birthday. My first nice watch. I bought this one.
Okay, and I just want to say, I love watches, okay? Like, I have nothing against, I think it's an underappreciated accessory. It's an underappreciated skill to do all that, to be at a time. Guys, I'm getting tired. I'm running out of fuel. But just know I do appreciate watches as a whole. I'm just dunking on him for other things.
With my own money, and I f***ing love this thing. It makes me feel successful. It's automatic, no battery, no winding. If you listen with the stethoscope, you can hear the little weight in there spin around, and that's what winds it when you move your wrist. I love the analog solution to the darkness problem. Tubes of radioactive gas, 25 years of light. I love looking at it. The thing about an analog watch is that my mind has oriented itself in time relative to the distance that the minute hand travels. How long is the drive to...
And I think analog watches are amazing. I do have quite a few analog watches. I definitely recommend people to have watches. I don't think, you know, it glowing at night is what I need. I don't wear a watch to sleep, but when I wake up, I just look at my little Amazon clock, the little Alexa thing, and it's like dimly lit. I don't think the night thing, because I feel like that's what he's basing it off mostly, that it glows at night. Like, is that really the only thing? I mean, I'm sure we could find a cheaper watch than this.
To Malibu, the hand moves about this much.
Although I will say the automatic thing that doesn't need batteries, that there's like a weight thing and that you could do that whole, I think that's what makes those like that clockwork just so awesome, and that's what you're paying for really when you buy these expensive watches, right? So I do get that. I get it.
I love that it's Swiss made, but that's a rabbit hole. I love that it's the Toyota Land Cruiser of watches. Not the Range Rover of watches like an Omega, not the G-Wagon of watches like a Rolex, not the Rolls-Royce of watches like an Audemars Piguet, or however you pronounce it. The Land Cruiser of watches.
Door still work.
Or maybe the Toyota Hilux of watches. I love...
Okay, so again, I'm not trying to, take a dookie on them. I agree. I don't think watches. Can I just see how much this watch is right now? Because I think it's a little silly to spend too much. Don't get me wrong. I do want a Cartier watch at some point. I do want a Rolex. I think that I don't wear jewelry and I don't wear that many accessories and whatever. So I do want these things because it's the few ways that I have to, oh my god. Alright, I'm just gonna pick like any watch. Hold on, let me see this one. Let me just like pick a watch. Okay. Wait. Hold on. Because I'm gonna be so mad. Oh man, I forget how specific watches get. I hate him. I hate him so much. This is not even that bad. He was talking about, oh, if Joe Rogan has it must be crazy expensive. Guys, I'm seeing watches. Okay, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm seeing watches. Guys, these watches, it's only not like a couple of grand. That's not even that bad. I was thinking like a Rolex. Like Rolex is like 5 plus, probably 10,000 plus, right? It's not even bad. I hate this guy. He's glazing. He's too much.
That I got paid to make this. I love that I got this job organically through Worn and Wound, through Kyle, through Jonathan Ward, the Leonardo de Land Cruisers. And I love that part of my fee was a big, fat Cesar chronograph automatic, which was my idea. It was my birthday.
again.
Thank you. See what you watch, little buddy? You like it? Thank you, Marathon, for sponsoring this video.
I should have known, bro. I should have known. I was like, he's glazing way too much. He should have just said it in the beginning. Hey, I'm gonna whoop whoop the video. What the? I'm so mad that I just like walked right into that. But you know what it is? It's because I saw the this thing, the clock by was it Christian McCarley, and I'm just like very into clocks right now, and I'm reading Grapefruit by Yoko Ono, and there was like this clock piece, and I'm just like always wearing watches, and I don't know, I'm just thinking about time a lot, and I thought that this video would be a little bit more genuine, but it's not. But yeah, this is the clock. How long is the clock? Can we like Google that? Markley. I'm typing it, guys. I'm getting so tired. Oh, it's 24 hours. Okay, I don't know why. Damn, dude. That would be an awesome, like, overnight. I've always wanted to do, like, a subathon. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm so tired. I don't even think I could get through whatever I promised. Oh, boy. I think I'm gonna get ready for bed. I think this is like the latest I've stayed up in a while. It's crazy. Ugh. Alright, let me see what's on here so I could like watch, and then we can watch together until I go to sleep, I guess. I'm so bad I was bamboozled into this. I'm exposing my content on Leftist Enough. I've been wanting to finish this. Alright, let's watch this together, and I probably won't
Characters for the sake of comedy, and now we love them both for playing these roles so well. You have to remember that the target audience for this show were children, and it appeared to them that Drake was the main character and Josh was the sidekick, which is essentially proven by the fact that Drake won 10 Kids' Choice Awards and Josh only won once. It was clear that Drake was the fan favorite, and Josh kind of understood because he also idolized Drake since they first met. But at the same time, Josh was 50% of the show. Some would argue that Josh's one-liners and physical humor is what actually made the show so successful.
Whoa, what's this? Just getting ready for my big dinner. Drake, what are you doing here? You're never home Saturday night. I told you tonight's my big fight with Lucy. No, you never said that. Never said that, okay? You never said you were going to be home Saturday. Well, I am. Ooh, olives. Okay, paws off my olives!
In addition to this imbalance on screen, off screen, Josh was still going through tough times. Because of his weight, he felt like he was missing out on a normal teenage life, the life that Drake was seemingly living.
I just knew that I felt like because I was so insecure, I had missed out on a lot of my teenage years. It wasn't without lack of opportunity to go out and be a knucklehead and experience life. I just didn't want to do it because I didn't love the body that I was in. So I felt like if I didn't act now, I was going to lose some really important years.
Josh got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and he spent his summers walking through New York City for miles while slowly making better food choices. His consistency led to him losing a total of 127 pounds in 3 years. This physical transformation had a profound effect on the Drake and Josh show. His new body seemed to make him more confident in pursuing physical comedy on screen.
Drake! Hang on, I'm busy. Mindy just told me she loves me. What? Tell me exactly how you responded when Mindy said, I love you. I didn't know what to say, so I just said, and chemistry, and I slammed the door in her face.
And as a result, season 4 of the show produced some of the most hilarious and memorable moments.
We were supposed to cut it out with the power saw. Dude, I'm gonna. Oh, really? Yes. So go get the power saw. Okay, I will. I see the problem. Oh, do ya?
The Drake and Josh series premiere was watched by 3.2 million viewers, the network's highest rated series premiere in nearly 10 years. Episodes regularly saw viewership upwards of 5, 6, 7 million. As of 2006, the show ranked consistently among the 10 most watched cable shows across all of television. It was a certified hit, creating core memories for kids all around the world. After the show, people just assumed these two remained great friends and rode off into the Hollywood sunset, becoming successful actors, but that wasn't exactly the case. Drake continued his dominance at Nickelodeon as a top star. Josh, on the other hand, wanted to develop a career outside of the kids' network, while simultaneously entering the darkest part of his life. One might assume that his amazing physical transformation had nothing but a positive impact on his life, but Josh says otherwise. It became clear that once I lost the weight, that I was the same head in a new body. I had this illusion of becoming more confident and attractive when I was partaking. I was trying to quiet that voice that woke me up every morning and told me I wasn't enough. In an attempt to live the teenage experience to the fullest while he still had a couple years to do it, he went overboard, falling victim to a dangerous drug and alcohol addiction.
And suddenly I'm like now looking like a normal kid and a normal teen. And I'm like, oh, they do drugs and that's normal. And they go to house parties and they go to clubs and they show up late to places and they're unreliable and that's normal. And I died to be normal. And I remember when I finally said yes, I had no conception that this drug would make me feel any different, that it was extreme. All I thought was, A, I hope she's watching. And oh good, I'm normal.
While Josh was going through hard times, Drake was receiving very consistent work over the years doing voice acting roles in shorts, TV shows, and movies. His most notable role was Peter Parker in Marvel's Ultimate Spider-Man animated series. When he wasn't doing voiceovers, he was writing and releasing his own music. Interestingly enough, his records weren't very popular in the United States, but were huge in various Spanish-speaking countries. The Drake and Josh Nickelodeon show was extremely popular in Latin countries, likely due to the excellent job the production team did with dubbing the actors' voices. Drake always wanted to be a rock star, ever since his earliest days on The Amanda Show in 2001. He released music consistently for 17 years but received no gold or platinum records in America. However, in Mexico and other various Spanish-speaking countries, Drake Bell, aka Drake Campana, had multiple high-charting Billboard singles and albums. In some of these countries, he performed shows for thousands of people. He learned to speak Spanish. He has written and released a ton of music in Spanish. He even provides Spanish subtitles with every podcast or social media post he makes. People have joked on social media that he ran away to Mexico to avoid charges of his 2020 crimes, when in reality he was more successful there for over a decade and probably made most of his income in Latin-speaking countries.
And what's it like in Mexico? Like, because you moved to Mexico, right? It seems amazing.
It's unbelievable, bro. You have no idea.
Tell me more, Drake Campana.
It's unbelievable. In Mexico, we were on Channel 5. We were like on After Friends or Seinfeld. You know, it's like we're on normal TV. Everyone watched us. We weren't a kids show. There's a place called Veeps. It's like Denny's. The menu for the children's menu is us, bro.
What?
Like when you buy Doritos, you buy whatever, and you open them up, like the little prizes inside is us.
Despite Josh's addiction and unreliability, he successfully broke the child star curse he was so desperate to escape from, and he did that with his role as Luke Shapiro in The Whackness. This coming-of-age dramedy set in 1994 in New York City follows a teenage drug dealer who trades weed for therapy sessions with his eccentric psychiatrist. Infused with 90s hip-hop culture, the film explores themes of adolescence, depression, love, and self-discovery. The Whackness premiered at the 2008 Sundance Film Festival, where it won the Audience Award for Dramatic Feature. Josh had finally achieved success outside of the child star curse he was so desperate to escape from, and he did that with his role as Luke Shapiro in The Whackness. This coming-of-age dramedy set in...
Bro, I remember watching The Whackness. That was a pretty, Oh my god. I kind of want to rewatch it now. Thinking about it. You know what other movie I've been wanting to rewatch? Hold on. Oh my god, not the Whackness. Just like the Whackness. It's oh my god, wait, hold on. Is this a movie I've been wanting to rewatch that I'm mistaking for something else? No, not the. Oh my god. The Whackness is a good movie, but it's where is it? Another good movie is that I've been wanting to rewatch is Havoc with Anne Hathaway. That movie is also insane. The difference between Anne Hathaway and like Drake, because The Whackness is kind of like a crazy movie, is at least Anne Hathaway continued doing insane roles, whereas this is like a one and done. It's been a while since I've seen The Whackness.
In 1994 in New York City follows a teenage drug dealer who trades weed for therapy sessions with his eccentric psychiatrist. Infused with 90s hip-hop culture, the film explores themes of adolescence, depression, love, and self-discovery. The Whackness premiered at the 2008 Sundance Film Festival, where it won the Audience Award for Dramatic Feature. Josh had finally achieved success outside of the goofy fat guy trope he thrived in his whole career, yet he realized it did not fill the empty void he was feeling in his life.
I had this realization, which was, oh no, you're bottomless. Like, you tried to fill this with food, then drugs and alcohol, and now like prestige, and none of it.
Nothing's going to fill the void.
None of it. And I got sober 2 weeks later.
Luckily for Josh, he did not spiral deeper. He understood that he was trying to cure an internal problem with external solutions, and instead he chose the right path forward with therapy and sober living. He basically stayed busy every single year since then, securing a major film, TV, or voice acting role. He even took to social media, becoming one of the most popular creators on the 6-second video app Vine.
Hey Josh, you just hit 4 million followers. No way. You calling me a liar? I ain't calling you a truther.
Then again, neither Drake nor Josh's personal troubles made for viral headlines. Sure, TMZ did their standard coverage, and maybe diehard fans were concerned about the two, but generally speaking, the mainstream...
I'm sorry, do people really watch TMZ like that? Like, that's so sad. Oh my god, I can't stress it enough. That's like really sad if people are watching TMZ like that. Like, what? I just can't. Like, I just don't care enough about any celebrity's life to be that invested in TMZ. This is crazy. Oh my god. Guys, the tattoos are so itchy. Oh, I should actually loosen them up right now. Hold on. Is this unscented? Yeah, put some lotion on here. I have ashy elbows just in case. I can't believe I got arm tattoos. Like, I really can't believe I did that. That's crazy. I never thought I'd get arm tattoos. Seriously. I haven't even showed my mom this. I got a tattoo for my mom and I haven't showed her because I'm just like super awkward with that type of stuff. But this is probably the most hardest tattoo. This is what 20 push-ups a day gets you. Nothing. Alright, let's get back to this.
Extreme fandom were now in high school and college and focusing on their own lives rather than their childhood celebrity favorites. Plus, Drake and Josh were frequently seen together over the years. Here is a photo that Josh posted to his Instagram in 2012 of them hanging out at a house party. Here's another photo of them in 2013 at a Christmas party. In 2014, there were multiple photos of them together. Josh even personally invited Drake to have a cameo in an episode of Grandfathered in 2015, which was a show about a socially awkward yet lovable new dad who unexpectedly reconnects with his suave, restaurant-owning father, played by John Stamos.
You remind me of my stepbrother.
Oh, but is he awesome?
No, he's in jail for stalking Oprah. Anyway, let's get inside so you guys can buy me dinner.
It's time for you to go, Kirk.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Go away. Have a nice night.
Don't tell me what to do.
What? Hug me, brother!
So it seemed like on the surface that Drake and Josh were friends. They were hanging out all the time and even collaborating. But it turns out that these meetups were actually extremely brief and infrequent. Quite literally just a quick little catch up because they happened to be at the same party. Drake actually wanted to be closer to Josh at this time, but was unable to express that to him.
Like when we were hanging out at Michael's a lot and we were just, and like there was, I always felt like, what? Like, man, we're all hanging, like, we got the same, like we should be closer. There's something.
Why does Drake do his hair like that? He has nice hair. Why does he do it like that?
I'm like, oh, I'm not cool enough to like hang out with Josh. Like, oh no, he's, you know.
Wait, why do the headsets look crazy big? I don't know what to do with my podcast equipment. Like, this is like rusting, like crazy. This is the second time I pulled out podcast equipment. Cause I'm just like, why are those headphones really big? Does it look that big? Like, we need to figure out a better way to do this. Cause these headphones are ridiculous. Alright.
You know, I'm not funny enough, or I'm not this, and he thinks I'm this, and like we were.
I'm gonna head out and once it hits the half hour, guys, whoever's watching.
Doing the same shit when we really should have just been like, bro, want to go grab some pizza and like play some video games?
And the result of this friction between the two would get blown out of proportion, because in 2017, Drake posted 2 tweets about how he was not invited to Josh Peck's wedding, which sent the media into a frenzy, speculating that Drake and Josh had some sort of falling out. When you're not invited to the wedding, the message is clear. True colors have come out today. Message is loud and clear. Ties are officially cut. I'll miss you, brother. From there, Drake also.
Oh my god. That was a little dramatic on his end, wasn't it? I mean, I would pull some shit like that, but I'm not famous. I feel like I would 100% need a PR team. I'm too sensitive.
Also did a few interviews where he discussed his feelings about not receiving the invite, but he still expressed nothing but grace for Josh.
Friend, you're talking to your friend and you're congratulating him on, oh, I'm so glad you're engaged, congratulate, blah blah blah, and then you see on social media that he had a wedding, and I go, what? I didn't hear about it, I didn't know about it, and so I shot from the hip and kind of was like, what? This is wrong. Like, why am I finding out about this on social media? I just felt like a bummed out brother, just kind of hurt, but it had nothing to, it does nothing to our relationship. We're brothers, we're friends. He's been one of my dearest friends for the past 18 years.
Josh was receiving a ton of hate for not inviting Drake to the wedding, and it really cast a dark cloud over this special.
Oh my god, guys. I can't take how parasocial everyone gets with like things like this. I remember this happening in real time, and I was just like, this is really, like, who cares? This is between Drake and Josh, I must say. I was like, yeah, that sucks. There's probably a reason. If it was me, right? I guess Drake would have gotten an invite automatically. There's no reason, you know. I'll just be like, just cause. But to make a big sensation like this was insane. Ugh.
Night. The next time Josh saw Drake, which was at the VMAs in 2017, he asked Drake to apologize to his wife Paige for the tweets, and Drake happily did.
And I remember that I was at the Video Music Awards, and I see him there, and he sees me, and I go up to him, like, and this might be the most Sopranos thing I've ever done. And I look at him and I go apologize to my wife right now. And he goes, okay. And he like made a beeline for my wife, and I see him do like this whole 5-minute performance of an apology. And it was like, I was like, go apologize to my wife or something bad's gonna happen.
After Josh claims to have intimidated Drake,
Josh, what the fuck were you going to do? Something bad was gonna happen? I hate this. I hate this. There's something about Josh that I don't like. He just, I don't know. Look at this smile. It's just, I don't know.
he ran up behind him and put a camera in Drake's face to vlog their reunion moment to show the public that they didn't have any real beef.
Holy come on. What's up, buddy? Is this happening?
I don't like, you see what I mean? That's just weird. You know,
Right now live is this really right now live? Stream live right now. Oh my.
this is so disingenuous. This is so disingenuous, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. He probably, okay, so Drake tweeted something out like an idiot. But this, go apologize. I did some Soprano shit. I said, go apologize to my wife. Shut the fuck up. And then continues in that same breath, basically, does this, a publicity stunt.
Oh my God.
Please
Wait,
tell
is this
Facebook
streaming?
to be nice to me.
Oh my God,
Please.
it's not even my fault.
Just tell Facebook to be nice to me.
Listen, lay off.
Thank you. You heard that, Facebook? It's all good.
Chill out.
We love you.
Lay off, man.
Alright,
I got
$100.
People are just parasocial, bro.
Drake and his ex-wife Janet said that this moment
He said ex-wife. They didn't even last. That's not funny, but it's just like, you did all of that just to not even last.
was actually sincere. The couples exchanged numbers and went out to dinner multiple times afterwards, seemingly rekindling their friendship. They even did some content together as Josh was pursuing YouTube very seriously.
Again, I feel like this is disingenuous on Josh's end.
That's Drake. That's Josh. And it's all love, people.
I think Josh feels some type of way because he grew up in Drake's shadow, and now that the tables are turned, he is doing whatever he's doing.
Together again. We're all good.
That's amazing.
All right. So,
What do you look like? It sucked anyway.
oh, fuck you. Fuck me. You know what? Mom never even liked you. She's not our mom. We're not on the TV show.
We now know exactly why Drake was not invited to the wedding. On their most recent podcast, Josh revealed that Drake wasn't singled out. It's just that nobody from the Drake and Josh cast was invited. The only person from Nickelodeon that was invited to Josh's wedding was Dan Schneider, because his wife was friends with Josh's mom.
I love.
Alright, that's where I'm going to bed. And I'm not finishing this video. Out of... Wait, Dan Schneider. Okay, I'm pretty sure it was before Jeanette McCurdy came out with the book, but Jesus, dude. Patrick CC's videos have been pissing me off. And not in a good way. Let's see. Yeah. I didn't see this one, but this one pissed me off. I didn't like this one at all. Stopped watching it. Alright guys. It's time for me to go to bed. I'm so tired. Thank you. I think there was like a few of you who hopped in and left. I'm so sorry. I'm still trying to figure out OBS because what the heck. But I'll do a live stream soon, hopefully with better tech. And tomorrow you'll get 2 videos. But I'm super exhausted right now, way past my bedtime. But yeah. So tomorrow. Thank you so much. How do I show all this off?